Um, we will start now, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you doing, brother Lukman?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good today. Okay. Um, Today I want to interview some questions about our our subject in UNGS, and these are under the topic Upholding the Risālah Islamiyah in Pluralism Society, Opportunities and Challenges. Okay. The first one is, I want to ask, do you think that a Muslim who lives in a multi-religious community can be inclined towards pluralism ideology? Why could it be happen?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First and foremost, thank you so much for interviewing me for your subject UNGS. So coming back to your question just now, whether Muslim who live in multi-religious community actually inclined or actually affected by this pluralism ideology. For this question, I believe that the answer is yes or positive. Which means, when we live in a society that have diversity in religion, be it Muslim, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, and whatnot. Of course, there are possibilities where person, especially Muslim, could be affected or actually inclined towards this, pluralism ideology. Okay, so why could it happen? Well, there are various reasons. One of them, perhaps, because the Muslim actually lack in the basic knowledge about Islam, for example. Okay, because today especially we could see that many children, young teenagers, for example, or even the young adult, for example, they have a minimum understanding about Islam. Okay, so they just base their understanding on their education in their secondary school, even in their primary school. So they don't have enough Islamic education. And what more if let's say they are coming from family or families who actually doesn't have good Islamic background. So if let's say this happen, they are coming from family who doesn't have a good Islamic background. They actually don't have enough Islamic education, and they actually exposed to society that have different religion, and even to this pluralism ideology. Of course, they actually can be affected in one way or another, sooner or later. Okay, I think that is my answer for that question.
I see. Okay. For the second question, do you agree that IIUM accepts the religious plurality, and also what about religious pluralism? Please share your thoughts.
Okay, good. Okay, so for the question number two, okay, whether or not IIUM accept the what you call as religious plurality, and also about the religious pluralism. So first and foremost, we must actually understand what does it mean by religious plurality. Okay, uh, religious plurality, in simple way, I can say that it is actually like religious diversity, which means in a society or in a country, it actually has multiple religion. Okay, like in Malaysia, we have Islam, we have Christianity, we have Hinduism, we have Buddhism, and etc. So this are what we call as religious plurality, and of course in IUM we do accept this concept because till today actually we accept student not only Muslim but also non-Muslim student. For example, like when I actually studied in I call
Yes.
my of laws. Actually, I have uh, friends who are actually coming from different religion, like Christianity, like
Yes.
Hinduism, and as well as the Buddhism. So yeah, for for this part, I believe IUM actually accept this religious plurality. Okay, we don't have problem with this concept. But when it comes to religious pluralism, then this is where IUM actually have problem with this concept. Of course, when we talk about religious pluralism, it means when people think that every religion actually are the same. Okay, whether Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, actually all of these religions are the same.
Same.
They actually, of course, they are coming from different sources, okay, different history, but their goal are the same. So for this part, I believe I am actually against this ideology because for IUM, of course, we respect, we celebrate the other religion. I mean, we accept that they have the rights to practice their religion, but we don't accept that the other religion also actually is a correct religion, because in Islam, we believe that Islam is the only correct and true religion, not the other religion. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, I think this is what we should understand when we talk about religious plurality and religious pluralism, because there are differences between these two terms that must be understand or must be understood correctly. Okay.
Okay. So, uh, for the third questions, what are the obstacles, uh, in your opinion, in Islamic preaching, in bracket dakwah, among pluralistic societies with liberal tendencies?
Okay, good. So coming to the question number three, we are asking about obstacle of Islamic preaching
Yes.
among pluralistic society that actually have the liberal tendency or liberal inclination. So for me, I believe, I mean, when we are living in in a pluralistic society, with different religion, with multiple religion, among the obstacles that we actually will face, in doing this preaching is that number one, there are what we call is misconception. Okay, misconception
Misconception.
on the part of the non-Muslim, especially because today, with what actually happening today, especially after like 9/11, yeah, the
Yes.
attack on
Yes.
the Pentagon, US, and whatnot. Non-Muslims, especially, they actually have uh, what we call is they have wrong perception about Islam. Okay, so this problem especially could actually becoming the most important, I mean, most or the biggest obstacle in doing this Islamic preaching, Islamic da'wah. Why? Because when they have the perception that Islam actually is uh, terrorism religion or terrorist religion, then they will actually refuse to uh, listen and refuse to understand what Islam actually is all about. That is number one. They actually they put, I mean, what do you call this, wall or gap. I mean, put like a border there. They don't want to listen, and they don't want to understand what Islam is all about. That is number one. Number two, based on my observation and actually based on my readings, other I mean obstacle is that some non-Muslim, even though they actually understand what is Islam, of course, on the surface, but some of the non-Muslim actually they have the tendency to the I mean to ridicule, to insult, you know, to I mean take Islam as a joke. Okay, so they understand that Islam is not terrorist religion, but they don't think that they should actually um, accept Islam. Okay, of course there are reasons or various reasons for this, but again, the attitude of this non-Muslim who love to ridicule, who love to insult, who love to condemn Islam. Yes, I mean also any can be considered as one of the obstacle in doing Islamic da'wah or Islamic preaching. Okay, and number three, I believe no other obstacle that we gonna face in doing this da'wah or Islamic preaching is that um, how do we actually explain Islam in a very positive way, so that it will actually can actually invite the non-Muslim to really learn and understand about Islam. Okay, sometimes we as preacher we need to have skill, we need to have communication skill to attract the non-Muslim to listen to what we are saying or what we are talking. Correct. So yeah, these are for me among the obstacle that we might face when we are doing this Islamic da'wah or Islamic preaching.
Okay, I see. For the fourth questions, what effort can the Islamic preaching use to educate the community and move away from liberal and pluralism ideologies? What your opinion?
Okay, okay. So for the question number four, you are asking about effort. What is the effort that we could do as Muslim preacher
Mm.
in educating the community and to actually move away from the these ideologies, whether it is liberal or pluralism. So for me, in doing Islamic da'wah or preaching, well, we could actually do couple or actually multiple effort. Okay, and yeah, I believe we could actually base our effort on the hadith of our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam,
Sallallahu Alaihi
where the
Wasallam.
Prophet actually talking about uh, a person who actually see or witness the evil or munkar. So I will answer in that order. Firstly, we should actually do some action. Okay, we should preach with our action. Okay, because for me that is the most powerful way to educate the community, whether Muslim or non-Muslim. Okay, because there is a saying, in English that says, uh, wait, what is the saying? Uh, Subhanallah, I forgot.
Subhanallah.
But what actually it means is like this. The meaning is like this. The action is actually more powerful, more significant than the words. That is the meaning. I forgot the saying itself, but it's okay. So yeah, because we can say something, but if we say we didn't do it, then it doesn't mean anything. Correct.
Correct.
So when we do, or when we say something, we must do it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we used to listen to this word, and they're saying, walk your talk. Okay. So you have to, prove your words by doing it. Okay. So yeah, first and foremost, we must actually preach through our action. That is the first, the most important way. Okay. Number two, of course, using our words, we can give advice. We can actually give, I mean, information. Okay, we
Information.
could actually spread information. We can actually share information with Muslim and non-Muslim about Islam. Okay, yeah, and we could actually what we call is doing we can actually what we call is spread writing about Islam. Okay, good thing about Islam and whatnot. Okay, that is using your words or your tongue. That is number two. And number three, last but not least, we can actually use our best
August.
weapon to a Muslim, which
Which
is
is
dua. We
dua.
can make prayer. Prayer here refer to dua. We pray to Allah to actually help us in our effort to spread the Islamic religion to our society. So yeah, we must do some action. We must say, or actually we must use our word to spread Islam, to do da'wah, and last but not least, we must also make pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Okay, so
Okay.
because of these three things uh, cannot be separated from one another. It should be actually should be done side by side, concurrently. Okay, so this is my answer for the question number four.
Okay. So for the final questions, what advice would you give to uphold the message of Islam in a multi-religious and multi-ethnic society so that they do not think Islam is a terrorist religion?
Okay. Okay, so here you are asking me about what advice
Advice.
that I could give. Okay. Um, well, for me, I believe that the best advice that I could give is actually, uh, of course, we, just now in question number four, we talk about, the effort that we could do. Correct? We could do some action. We could actually, spread the words. We could do dua, make dua. But for this number five, I believe we should um, show the beauty of Islam, okay, in our action and in our words as well, okay, because sometimes when we talk about words, people can say that we are lying. Correct? We preaching what
Yes.
we do not actually practice, or we do not
Yes.
do. But when you are doing the thing, or actually when you actually show the beauty of Islam through your action, then actually that is the strongest evidence that you can show to the society, especially to the non-Muslim, that Islam is actually a peaceful religion. Okay, Islam is actually a very kind religion. Okay, because yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of what you call it, example, even stories where the non-Muslim actually they fall in love with Islam not because of the words, but because of the action of Muslim. Okay, so yeah, for me, we should, of course, improve, correct, and we should actually try our best to show the beauty of Islam in our action. Of course, after that, we could also spread the beauty of Islam by our word as well. But again, the action is extremely important. It must come first. Okay, because even if let's say a person actually they couldn't hear us, they couldn't hear our words, but they could see our action. Correct.
Okay.
So yeah, I think action is the most, strongest, way that we could actually do to show the beauty of Islam, to actually do dawah to the non-Muslim as well. Okay, and by showing them the beauty of Islam, the kind nature of Islam, the unique Islam, this will actually give message to them that Islam is not a terrorist religion, but Islam is a peaceful religion. Okay, I think that's my answer to the question number five.
Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you, Doctor, for answering all the questions given, and I hope your day will be good today and tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah, Amin. Okay,
Inshallah.
thank you as well for inviting me to join
Yes.
your today's session, and for choosing me.
Yes.
And I pray the same to you as well. May Allah actually bless your day and bless your life as well. Inshallah, Amin.
Inshallah. All right. Okay.